Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If this is your very first time here, my name is FiddlinJonny and this is my fiddle channel and magic product review. And before I do any magic product review, I always do a quick fiddle tune. So stick around, you're going to want to see this magic product review, but let's see what comes out of this old box with strings on it. All right, there we are. I think that's the Tennessee Waltz or some version of it. Any rate, I know you're here for the magic product review, so let's talk about the review. Today, I'm reviewing Exploding Pringles. Yep, that's right. I'm sponsored today by Pringles and they have a new pizza explodes in your mouth variety. Okay, that's not really true. We're not doing Pringles today. We are doing Crazy Sam's Mind. Sam's crazy with this thing. Crazy Sam's Mind is the power of telekinesis, and you can demonstrate that by exploding potato chips in your spectator's hands. Now, this is so super popular out there. You're seeing it across a lot of social media, and Sam Huang, the creator, demonstrates it, and I know you want to learn how to do it. So I'm going to get into all the details, the things that are going to be helpful for you if you're considering this product. So stick around and we'll get right into it. All right, today is a very fun one with that Crazy Sam. Crazy Sam's Mind. Oh my God, his mind is crazy. Actually, Sam Huang, the creator of this, and it's released through Hanson Chien Productions. Wow, Sam is hitting it out of the park these days. He is a monster and a beast with some of his releases, and someone keep an eye out for because he's doing some awesome stuff. You might remember Crazy Sam's Ring, which I reviewed not that long ago. Another cool effect. So just some great stuff. What is Crazy Sam's Mind? Well, it is a telekinesis effect. And what do we mean by telekinesis? It's the power to move objects and affect objects simply with your mind. That's what this is. And the method allows you to be able to move objects at will. And it doesn't involve any invisible thread, doesn't involve magnets, doesn't involve loops or ties. So it doesn't involve electronics. It is pure analog for a method, and looks really, really cool. And one of those things surprising, like, how come somebody didn't come up with this sooner? So that's what it is. Now, you're going to learn a three-phase routine on there to be able to employ the method, and then you can decide how you might sort of build upon that. So let's talk a little bit about what do you get? And I'm going to get to all the sort of questions I think that you would have out there. So what do you get? You are going to get, in this relatively small package, you're going to get the gimmick, which there are 50 of the gimmicks in here. And I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. Plus, you're going to get access to a streaming Vimeo video that is 58 minutes in length. So it's just basically shy of an hour in length. It is taught by the creator, Sam Huang himself, and he performs in it to Hanson Chien of Hanson Chien Productions, for whom this is released through. It's not a downloadable video, it's just purely streaming on Vimeo. And I suppose you can download on Vimeo if you have an account. I'm not sure of that. All right, so we should talk about how are the instructions. I found the instructions absolutely fine. I went online and looked at some of the forums and found that some people complained and thought like it could have slowed down a little bit or went a little slower at times when it was related to the move, so they get a closer look at it and a slow move of it. I didn't have that experience. I found that the instructions were fine, that the pacing was just fine. And since the move or the method is really, really easy, Doesn't mean this is easy overall, but the setup is pretty easy if you understand how to do it. And so I didn't find that too much of an issue. Thought Sam did a great job. He will go over what the method is, show you advanced handling of that method. He'll do multiple live performances in studio in front of Hanson Chien. He'll also show you how to do the setup and how to reset in front of your spectator. So it covers everything you would want and expect in that. I should point out, however, that it is recorded in Chinese. So if you don't speak Chinese, you don't have to worry because it does have overdubbed in English. So if you're an English-speaking country and you speak English, no worries, it is overdubbed in English. It also has subtitles in multiple languages. So it has subtitles in English, in Spanish, in French, in German, in Korean. There's others, and I can't see them on my little list here, but you can go look at ad copy. They have provided the subtitles in many different languages. I found the subtitles to be just fine. I watched both versions where I watched it in Chinese with English subtitles and then watched it with the voiceover done in English on it as well. So, and didn't find any problems with that at all. I should talk about what the routine is that you're taught in there. You're going to be taught a 3-phase routine. And basically, the first phase is an ambitious card with the idea is that you're able to flick cards very easily with your mind. And that's how the card came to the top of the deck. And basically, you do an auditory illusion where you have a card in your hand or spectator's hand, and you're able to hear the sound of it being flicked, despite that your hand is nowhere near it. In the second phase of the routine, you take either your glasses or your spectator's glasses, or it could be sunglasses as well, and you basically set them on the table, and with your mind, you're able to make them move or jump up into your hand. And in the final phase, you take a Pringles potato chip, sponsored today by Pringles. Thank you, Pringles. Not really. Wish I was. Send the check, Pringles. You put a potato chip in or crisp in your spectator's hand, and in the spectator's hand, it explodes. Shatters. That is the third phase of the routine. You'll get the advanced handlings where you can also make a rubber band disappear right in front of your eyes. It looks like CGI, quite honestly. You can make a tissue disappear from your hand. You can make a ring jump into your hand. Those are more advanced handlings, but those are also taught on the tutorial as well. Let me get to the brass tacks here of the things that I think I would want to know if I were on your side of this, the screen. So, in my opinion, here's the meat and potatoes for you. This will require a lot of practice, okay? Now, that should not discourage you. A lot of times people think, I want to open up the box, watch the tutorial, have it be self-working, and be able to do it. That is not this one for you. You will require practice time. And I know the way it comes to practice, some people will find it, they'll get it pretty quickly. Others will find they will struggle and will need to put in more hours. I found it knacky, and knacky I don't mean as a bad thing. It just is knacky, which requires practice, which I'm going to say maybe 100 times. Maybe you should take a shot every time I say practice on this one. That is some of the big takeaway here. I do not like to do reviews unless I've gone out in public and performed it so that I get that real world experience. I've been putting in a lot of hours of practice, and I'm not yet ready to go into public and perform it for people. I will put up, if I haven't already put up, a performance that I did here at home with family. And I felt comfortable posting that, but to be honest, I filmed it multiple times till I got the perfect take, because my first, second, third take, I wasn't happy with the performance. I didn't get the chip to explode, and again had to sort of readjust, and still I'm on my learning curve. So I just want you to be aware of that. I don't want you to think, oh look, it looks like it's really easy for FiddlinJonny to do. Nope. And had to film it multiple times till I got what I really liked. I think that's important for folks to know. The other thing that I would say is that Sam Huang teaches on here that you can reset right in front of your spectator, or not even reset, you can set up in front of your spectator. That takes practice, and I think a fair amount of practice. it shows that it can be done. Sam demonstrates it multiple times if you've seen him perform it live, or if you saw him at Blackpool performing it, or on any of his social media. He also shows and demonstrates that in the tutorial itself, and says basically you should set it up within 2 seconds. If it takes you longer than 2 seconds to set it up, you shouldn't yet be performing it in front of people, at least the setup piece of it. So I just want folks to be aware of that. If you're going to purchase this, put in some practice. All right. What else do I think you should know? It is recommended in the tutorial that you wear like a watch or a bracelet while you're performing, or maybe a long sleeve so that you can hide the gimmick. I think that's a really good idea, but by the same token, I would say if you just had long sleeve, you're probably fine. And I don't think folks will notice the gimmick because you'll be wearing the gimmick, all right? But that is recommended. I think it's a good recommendation. But by the same token, I think if you got really good at this, you probably could perform it in short sleeves and not worry too much. But if you're somebody who doesn't like to wear any sort of jewelry or watches and stuff, it may be a deal killer for you. Okay, let's see. What are some of the final things I want you to know about this? Let's talk about the gimmick itself, because I think this goes naturally into it. You're going to get about 50 of the gimmicks. I actually got 49, it says in the tutorial. You should get about 50 of these in your package. So I got 49 of them in here. I've been practicing and putting in my time. I've only broken 3 so far. And the longer and more I practice, the better I think I am at making sure I don't break my gimmick. At first, I think I was just a little rough, too hard, and busted the gimmick. The gimmick that they provide for you in this, oh, I should say first, there are refills. If you happen to run out of all of about 50 of your gimmicks, you can just buy more, and they cost only $3 to repurchase the gimmick. Okay, so relatively cheap, and I'm assuming they come in packages of about 50 as well. The gimmick, let's talk about the gimmick. I'm not going to reveal what the gimmick is, but the great thing about it is it's a common item that you probably already have at home, that you could go to any office supply store and purchase it from an office supply store. Now, they have provided the perfect gimmick for this specific effect. Many of you may have some other popular variations of this gimmick at home. They may not be as well because this one needs to be strong. And this one is strong and sized in a way that should work for you. Now, when I say it's sized for this effect, everyone's hands are a little bit different size. I have sort of short, fat, pudgy hands and feel like, boy, I wish mine was just maybe millimeters larger to make it slightly easier. I know Sam Huang has huge hands by comparison to me, and yet I'm sure he's using the exact same gimmick and seems to work fine for him. So just know that, again, this is one of those things, practice, because it'll make it better and you'll understand the gimmick and how to make sure you're being able to apply it perfectly. When you first get this, and it says this in the tutorial, it will probably hurt a little bit. And if it starts to hurt too much, take a break. I found that I sometimes practice with the gimmick on my left hand and sometimes on my right hand. And basically, I just keep going back and forth. And when this one starts to hurt too much, I go to this hand. So just know that's was part of my process. Common gimmick, found at any store. This one is designed specifically for this effect. I suppose, however, that you could probably source this gimmick should you go through all 50 of the gimmicks that are provided here. I do kind of wish that they had made this or made an offer of maybe this could have been a download only, and then you could source for yourself, given sort of maybe the specifics of what is ideal when performing this. But at the end of the day, I tend to be someone like, just send me everything I need so I can just start performing it right away, and I don't need to make a run to the store or go to Amazon and order something. So those are just some of my thoughts on the release there. So the gimmick is strong, though. Should last a long time. They shouldn't break. Let's talk about what the skill level is. I'm going to say this is an intermediate skill level. And I'm only saying it's intermediate skill level because it's a little bit knacky. If you're brand new in magic, I wouldn't discourage you from purchasing this. Just understand you need to practice. All right? I'm taking a drink every time I say practice. I'll be probably in trouble by the time I'm done with this. So, yeah, so that's why I say it's intermediate. Don't expect to open up the box, have it be self-working and performing it minutes later. You're going to need to put in hours, in my opinion. And I know others will go, what's he talking about? 20 minutes later, I was able to perform this without a problem. And sometimes, things that are knacky for one are not knacky for the next. Certainly knacky for me. Okay. When I talk about let me go back to like skill level intermediate. I think what I would encourage folks, if you like this effect, you think it looks awesome and cool, it is. Just anticipate if you're going to purchase it, put in the practice time. Have patience. And if you're able to have patience and put in the time, you're going to be satisfied. I believe that. All right, let's talk about what are some of the pros. I think this just looks amazing. I think if you can perform it, man, it looks awesome. I think this is really good as well for just social media. Let's say you're not going to put in the time. You just want to put it in social media. Perfect for social media because you can do your perfect take and post it and it'll look amazing. I love that the gimmick itself readily available. So you'll be able to perform this for the rest of your life because of that. I think this is a great everyday carry. You can do this anytime, anywhere. It's the sort of piece that you can just do for family or friends. You're just out because you'll be able to carry it with you all the time, especially if you're not like a working professional. This is still great for you because it's the sort of thing that I think is just fun where you can show a friend like, hey, you want to see something kind of cool? And easy to do anytime, anywhere for that reason. I'd say sort of the cons results may vary. And what I mean by that, it'll be knacky for some, easier for others. I kind of wish there was maybe a choice of different sized gimmicks so I could sort of see which one I liked ideally, but that's not a deal breaker for me. I mentioned earlier it can be a little painful when practicing, so just take breaks and then come back to it. I found it challenging at this point in my journey with this to do the setup in front of my spectator. I feel clumsy in front of my spectator. I feel like it's obvious. I felt Sam teaches it really well and addresses it on the tutorial. I still need more practice with it on it. So I just want folks to know that and what my experience is so far with it. All right. And you should also be aware of I don't want to call it angle issues, but you do need to manage angles. You probably don't want folks directly on your sides, or at least on one of your sides. You don't want them because they might be able to see the gimmick. So you'll need to manage that. Basically, if you've got folks at about this angle, you should have no problems at all and totally fine from straight on. Okay. That's it. I think who's going to like this? I think anybody who loves everyday carry with an organic everyday organic type of object that likes to perform anytime, anywhere will love this. I think it fits perfectly in that, in that realm, in that alley. So great EDC, everyday carry, organic performance of magic. I think for folks who like rubber band magic, you might find that this might appeal to you as well. I think if thinking about this in context of a full performance, I think this would be nice paired with a PK touch routine. You could open with it and then go to your PK touch, or you could start your PK touch and go into this. I think it could go either way. So I think it's nice for folks who are interested in that style of magic. In the United States, it costs $29.95. Now, in my humble opinion, I actually think that's a fair price for the method that you're going to learn here. Certainly what you get in here, look, a handful of dollars, not at all expensive. But I think for the method and the tutorial, it's worth the cost on this one. So, all right, I think that's it. I hope that's helpful for you. If you purchase this, let me know and put your experience down there so that others can learn from you and what your experience is. Maybe it was real easy for you. Maybe some of your tips and tricks. If it was difficult, what were the challenging pieces that you can share without revealing the method? Of course, leave that down in the comments for me. It'd be great. If you haven't yet subscribed, how come you haven't subscribed? Go ahead. Don't be the last one to subscribe. Subscribe now. And of course, if you could hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. I think you all know that it helps with the algorithm and helps to promote the video, which I really appreciate it. All right. Thank you everyone for being here. I genuinely appreciate it. Go check out one of my other reviews that I've done out there. Hopefully that'll be helpful for you. My name's FiddlinJonny, and remember to keep fiddling around with your magic. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye. All right, we're going to do a quick demonstration of what does telekinetic power look like. I've got Rory here to help me out. Rory, can you go ahead and put out your left hand there? And I'm going to go ahead and set this chip right here in your hand. And I want you to take your finger like this for flicking powers. Now you're going to flick your telekinetic power into that chip. Go ahead, 1, 2, 3. No effect. So I want you to store up that energy. I'm going to give you a little power there. Let's go ahead and just put this up just a hair. All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And that was awesome. How'd you do that?
I'd not flicked it.
That is how Crazy Sam's mind looks. Thanks.